Okay, vintage gamers, welcome back for another adventure. I feel like one of the cards in Mom that I felt like could use more screen time is Chromehost Seedshark, the powerful Toon Blue flying shark that whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you get a token that has X +1/+1 counters on it, and you can pay 2 to transform it into an artifact creature. I want to try to play a bit more of a jam Seedshark play counter spells angle. So we're gonna try playing this deck again. It's very similar to the first list we played a few weeks prior, but I took out a little bit of the for fun cards like Kappa Cannoneer and Expedition Map. And instead, we're going to play a pile of free interaction with Negation, Mindbreak Trap, Misdirection, and even a Commandeer. Now, a Commandeer is a little bit on the for fun side, but it is a very powerful spell in Vintage, especially if you have the blue count to enable it. Gaining control of some of Vintage's powerful non-creature spells is definitely something that is worth thinking about. I am going to go down to just one Urza Lord High Artificer, even though Lord High, it does work very well with Artifact Incubator tokens. And I think that's mostly the changes we made to the deck. I did just edit some things in the sideboard, but overall, it's the same idea. Is we're going to play like the mono blue shell, except for, oh, hello. Yeah, those magic cards. We're going to go a little bit lower on the repeals to give ourselves access to some larger pieces of counter magic, which hopefully will make large incubator tokens that we can attack with and win the game. Now, in our first league, we weren't actually able to make any attacking incubator tokens. A lot of Saga things were happening, and we'll have to see if that changes at all in this league. If it turns out that you're not really making the tokens very often and they don't matter, then I think we can just drop the Seedshark from viability considerations and move on. But I think it deserves another shot, and we're going to see how this fares in this league today. It is worth noting that this list is can very easily just be drop these Chrome Sharks, play some Hull Breachers and a Time Twister, maybe play some PO, and it's like a very normal vintage deck. So we'll see. I'll see if we're on one. Hopefully we'll make some Phyrexian artifact creatures. If you'd like to see your deck played on this channel, check out the Patreon link in the description below, where you can find all the information you need to submit a donation deck list. Let's battle. Okay, it's Shark time. We got Prince across the table, powerful wizard. Pretty large range, but I would expect Jewel Shops. Here I have a nice hand of Force and Mindbreak Trap if they are on Jewel. So it looks like a keeper to me. This is a classic display of one of the reasons I'm not a huge fan of Time Vault Gaming. In the past, I was a huge fan of Time Vault Gaming, but it does definitely make some of your draws a little awkward. Obviously, if I had a Saga, this Time Vault becomes not awkward, so we'll see if I am a Saga gamer or not. I would love to draw, like either fast mana to get a shark in play or additional blue cards so we don't have to pitch our shark. Oh, well. The jig is up. All right, so it looks like this is going to be Jewel. They are now aware of our Mindbreak Trap, which is highly unfortunate. Oh, wow, they actually played the Sapphire into a Mindbreak Trap. I'm gonna snap off a Mindbreak Trap on this Sapphire. I find Sapphire to be an extremely important card in the Jewel list because they traditionally don't have a ton of blue sources in their deck, but their blue spells are very important. If my opponent is going to sacrifice a Mox Sapphire to get rid of my Mindbreak Trap, I actually think I'm going to take that one. Maybe this signifies they have a follow-up Saga, but if my opponent had led this Pearl, I don't think I would have trapped it, and they could have just waited until Sapphire on the next turn. It's kind of an interesting play. Here, I just hope I draw a Saga, I guess. Did not draw a Saga. I think it's better to spin than play this Time Vault out. Ancestral Misdirection Needle. I'm pretty interested in 3 new ones losing my top, I think. Well, maybe I'm just interested in taking all of this and just waiting. If they go Saga, I at least have time vault measures. I guess I'll consider that as an option here. One thing I have noticed with my play recently is I am a lot less disciplined in terms of value plays. And the reason I think is the reason I am is reasonable because I think the format is so volatile and high power and fast. But I have to make sure that I pick my spots correctly. I, I have just found that forcing this is good. I know it's a little awkward, but I have found recently that I like forcing that. Key. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, if they have another Moxen, they get to go off, but if they don't, then I have a needle. That's fine. I'm going to leave my cards on top so I can draw this needle. Just going to name Manifold Key. Yeah, I think so. Notably, misdirection kind of bad here if my opponent just slams Jewel. Could have been like second negation. I feel like my opponent's Sapphire play was just super odd. I will do a fetch and a spin. Second Saga Flusterstorm. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty reasonable. I do find that when both players play Saga, the game does feel like it revolves around Saga, which is an interesting departure from when I find that if I don't play Saga and they play Saga, the game doesn't revolve around Saga. I wonder why that is. They did top deck Jewel. Wow. All right, so we still have Flusterstorm and Misdirection for whatever that's worth. If my opponent, per se, plays a PO, we can at least fluster that and then steal the Jewel. We have an active creature to steal the Jewel. Workshop, that means another Jewel, I assume. Oh, Metamorph. Yeah. Wonder if I was supposed to activate... Oh, I was supposed to activate Saga is what I was supposed to do. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I was like worried that they were going to name my top, but they're just going to name my Saga. Very silly of me. Very silly of me. Yeah, it's a pretty big mistake, but hopefully we'll be able to come back from it. I should have made a Saga token there and probably draw with my top. Ooh, should we just go PO? Fluster's like kind of doomed now, right? I mean, the shark gives me... Maybe the shark is just the best play. Maybe I should just take both. I could go Vault Key win. I could go Key. Oh, they could also go Key. So I guess I can't go that. Never mind. This feels like Mana Crypt. I mean, I'm still super doomed, right? Force, pitching force. I just have to like misdirect and hope they don't have any. They hope they don't top deck something. All right, I'll misdirect your force of will to misdirection. Resolve a Chromehost Seedshark. Play a Time Vault. And all right, they have to top deck anything that is good, and then we lose. I threw this game though. This game was a one game. All I need to do is activate Saga in response. Just really stupid of me. Maybe that's what I get for not playing with Saga enough. Ancient Tomb? Pass? Any pass? Oh, we can win. Yeah, I feel like it's weird. I've been recording these off-stream videos, and I just feel like I've been playing awful. Maybe I am awful. Maybe that's the key. And if I was not awful, then it's a pretty good draw. Let's get that Sensei's top back in play. Then I guess I have a free spin. Force Chrome. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be winning. Oop, I did not spin that in the right way. They can't stop this. I get a jewel. Everything is fine. I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. I will pass on giving lethal just to have all of my counters up, I think. Don't see how I can lose from here. Doesn't look like I have that in me. Wow. I'm pretty... I don't know why I can't do that. Oh, is the yield until next end step button just not working? Very odd. None of these cards matter. Maybe I'm supposed to find Time Vault. I don't think that matters either. I think I'm just supposed to attack and then pass. Okay, I got really lucky. I missed needling Saga, but I guess it's okay. So we still have additional negation. I kind of think I like the idea of having dispute. I don't really need a soul guide lantern. It might be nice to have 2 needles. I kind of think needling like Saga or Time Vault Key like makes my opponent's deck a little rough. Don't know if it's good though, but I hate Flusterstorm in this matchup. I think in general the misdirection is not great for the same reasons that Flusterstorm is not great. Pretty much. But it was a pretty free win if I just play at a reasonable level. So this hand is a dangerous keep, obviously, against Jewel, but I think it's within range. Needle also gives us good counterplay to a hand that opponent might keep that involves Saga. Is this going to be Forge? Forge is a problem. Forge is absolutely a problem. They have Manifold off the top. Wow, that's incredible. Oh, and Sensei's top. Yeah, okay. Things are bad for anyone keeping track at home. We do have Needle on top. But things are bad. We are going to need to find a force very quickly. And then got rid of a Saga. I think the answer here is just deploy Needle first in case I get misstepped. Then I'll deploy my Ancestral. Hopefully we'll find 4. We found all of our Seedsharks. Okay. All right, so I mean, we're probably dead. There was definitely inherent risk in keeping my hand, and my opponent really displayed why. But I think I'm always keeping that hand. It covers lots of things to a pretty high level. But I mean, they started with 6 mana and restricted card, so it's quite tough. I can't imagine we're actually going to get a turn this time. This looks like a very hard spot for my opponent to whiff from. I do feel like 1 force would have been enough, though. Just not a very good Ancestral Recall. All right, I'll just concede from here. I think that's acceptable to do. And then we'll just run it back. I have tons of very strong plays that we can make, so I'm not too worried. Give opponent 1 for funsies. Man, these hands are just not it. What are these hands? So I can go... This one's probably a keep. We can do... Put away Mana Vault. What if we put away Chrome Shark and then go Time Walk? Yeah, that might be better. They kept another 7-carder. I mean, it's really tough because I have these things too, like Tinker and Ancestral, but I guess this hand still is an Ancestral hand if I find another blue source, but that is not exactly what we want to be doing. Like, Virtual Scrolling for force. Oh my god. That's got to be like the worst possible outcome, right? Well, I didn't really want to try to concede the game, but I feel like we're almost at the point where conceding the game makes sense. Like, what are we really doing here? Like, we're getting Ancestral and just praying that our opponent decides not to kill, like, has a slow hand or something. I don't really know. I don't feel like there's a world where I'm allowed to mulligan my 6-card hand, but it sure doesn't feel like it's adequate to beat Jewel Shops. Is this just going to be Workshop or Manifold Kill Me? What are we doing here? Time Walk or Monolith? 5 mana Might Stone? Pass. All right, they didn't have a turn 1 kill. That's a good thing for us. We need help, though. We need extreme amounts of help. Force of Will. I'm gonna cast Ancestral. Am I? Yeah, I'm gonna cast Ancestral. Yeah. I mean, there's just nothing I can really do. Realistically, if they kill me here, I just did not have the power in my hand. Which is funny because I had a lot of power in my hand, but I just didn't have, like, this hand is just much better. Super frustrating. Jewel Shops is really, really, really annoying deck. I mean, I guess this can whiff, right? I could hit 3 lands. I mean, I've definitely cast this jewel before and lost, so we'll see what happens. If they hit PO or Displacer Kitten or Metamorph, it's just doomed. One was a Monolith, and they had a Metamorph. Man, I really dislike this deck. Yeah, it invokes very similar feelings of Bazaar of Baghdad, where you kind of need your opponent to do some mulliganing. Just trying to play like a lower power Saga Tinker deck just feels hopeless. Did they brick? They have infinite mana. 2 cards left. Might have bricked. They bricked. Wow. They can still have Hercules recall. They should probably do it now. They didn't do it now, so if they do have Hercules recall, that could very easily come back and bite them. Um, I guess they could have Hercules and Force. If they have Hercules and Force, do I have any compelling counterplay? I have like replay Needle on their Saga. So my counterplay is going to be if they have Force plus Hercules, I can then... Oh, they just don't have anything. Wow. I wonder what the likelihood of whiffing from there is. Because they're not really forced to go in on that play, are they? Doesn't really feel like they are. Actually, this hits for more because of the jewels. It's kind of funny. So what do we want to do? Play a shark. Maybe we don't even care about a shark. Let's just cast Ponder, try to find Vault Key, and just bounce my own needle. Citadel. Yeah, I guess we can do that. So they have Force. Makes sense. Yeah, that's definitely a card that bricks you off while you are already comboing. Let's just get rid of this needle. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Those are a lot of... all right, there we go. Workshop. That's enough. Oh boy, that was weird. It's really rough because I feel like I didn't play great and I didn't have... I don't know. Wasn't really lucky or anything, so it was kind of weird to win. I mean, I guess I was lucky because my opponent was unlucky. It's weird though. That means I don't hear many stories of these kind of combos failing, but when I practiced with the deck, I certainly had that happen more than once. When you think about it, any land is a brick, any mox or mana source is a brick, any force is a brick. So let's just take a quick peek, right? Because I find this to be at least a very reasonable thing or a very interesting thing. So every metamorph and displacer kitten, let's go find a prince list. 1 displacer kitten, 4 metamorphs, a Karn, an ancestral, a time walk, a tinker, 4 POs is 13, top 14, forge 15, sometimes jewel. So maybe it's a third of your hits. So you're probably pretty likely to keep going, though it is worth noting that sometimes jewel isn't a hit. Sometimes it depends on the various circumstances, but I don't know. It seems, I don't know, just the fact that you could draw like 2 lands in a force or a mox a land in a force, it makes it feel like there's a lot of viable combinations that lose the game. But I would have to default to somebody with serious reps to know how likely that coveted jewel as the last card play was going to fail there. Kind of interesting. Okay, let's try this again. I feel like I need to tighten my play up to get good results here. This is a great hand. Definitely down. Has some serious options. I wonder if my opponent will be... No, we've already looked at my 7 cards, so they won't be revealing a Lurrus on me. My opponent is somewhere between a Lurrus player and a Bizarre Gamer. Oh, wait. Don't they also play the PO combo Oath deck? So we'll have to... Let's see what they are up to these days. It's kind of nice that we have the option of Commandeer or repeat or Force, depending on what's happening. They did keep a 6-card hand. So I have Saga tokens going. I have Counter Magic. I have Spin for 1 turn here. Let's see what they have for us. Lotus Gaming. Sure. Wonder if they'll like mono white us. Green. Collector Oof. Man. It's not ideal. This seems like it might be... Well, Collector Roof is definitely in their wheelhouse. The good news... The bad news is if they do have backup plan here, then our Saga is going to go to waste, which is very frustrating. But we have adequate counterplay, so... Just going to force pitch Commandeer. see if they have like second collector roof, or they should have wasteland. Okay, you have like a hex drinker maybe. Looks like AggroVine to me. Oh, no follow up. Okay. We're drawing a fetch land. Yeah, that's acceptable. Take a quick peek. Pio Ponder Dig. Okay, maybe it should be the other way on the Pio and Ponder, or on the Ponder and Dig. Or sorry, on the Dig and Pio. Pio looks a little far. Dig is also a little far. Okay, so it is AggroVine. It's a really nice start from AggroVine to have Black Lotus Collector Roof. I assume they kept that. Well, I mean, they have Bazaar anyway, so I guess they kept it because it has Bazaar. But I was gonna say if they didn't have Bazaar, I would see them keeping Collector Roof, Wasteland, Lotus on the blind versus me. I am someone who typically does not vibe with getting Collector Roofed. Jeez, and Hollow One. All right, things are bad. I think the answer here is that these cards are not good enough, and we're gonna mulligan them away, or we're gonna fetch them away. Maybe we'll find like a Chrome Shark. Wow. Somehow that ended up being worse for me. That is not good. Man, these are just not good draws. I think this lets us cast Dig next turn. So there's something there. I am a bit worried still. Oh, they have a Vigor? F3, 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 F3. Looks like they have Vigor is our last two cards. All right, sweet. That's fine with me. I will just save it and then spin and then draw. That went really well. That was actually one of the best things that could happen. Now I actually am close to POing, which is funny. Man, I just think Repeal has been unbelievable. I don't know when this video will come out, but I had a video with a Hull Breacher PO list that I filmed just recently, and Repeal was great then too. Was that no upkeep Bazaar activation? Interesting. I mean, I feel like we're in a great spot now, so let's see what happens. We've got Time Walk, and we've got Dig. Time Walk into Dig, and then from there... yeah, this is fine. Saga, Needle, or we could go Lotus Citadel. Oh, baby. Oh, my. That is... yeah, I feel like that's got to be better. We have a top. It was something I was thinking about, knowing I had Citadel as my top card. Tinker. Think I just want to put a Time Vault in, but there's definitely upside to just needling Bazaar. As long as I don't die. Oh, could die. Oh, could die. Bruh. What is happening? I just need any shark as a chump blocker. Um, hmm. This lets me draw shark if I bounce my pearl. All right, that's a lot of mana. What is even in my card board? I guess I can stand up needle and block. Oh, I have a sphinx. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just draw Karn to start. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I feel like I just want a shark, man. Oh, this could not have gone worse. I guess I can stand up Citadel. Okay. I feel like I played this badly, though, if I had to guess. Is there any... Yeah, I'm going to hold in case I need to mental misstep something. Okay, it's still fine. I must have messed that up somewhere along the line. Maybe this play was the one that messed it up. So now I can just get Sphinx, right? White, black. I guess... Yeah. Yeah, they can't even besage you it right away, so... Oh my god. Okay. I need to think a little bit harder. I forget how bad these decks are at playing through Citadel. No tutors really. Like Tinker's my only tutor. I was just my whole thought in that was I just need to draw cards and play cards until I find a Seedshark, play a Seedshark, and then everything would be fine. I just never drew one, which made things pretty weird. All right, so I don't like Soul Guide against them. I do like Needle. But no, I don't like any of that kind of stuff. Obviously, I like Sphinx and Dismember versus Collector Roof. And then Misdirection is pretty bad. Commandeer is pretty bad. Mind Break Trap is pretty bad. Though, funny enough, you actually can trap them sometimes. Sorry, I was lost in thought thinking about Four Seasons for some reason. So Flusterstorm is interesting because it hits Vigor, and that might be important in this matchup. So I think I'm going to keep Flusterstorm. I only have one Flusterstorm. Negation is pretty bad, though. Most of the counter spells I've chosen to play are not good against this deck. They're, really for Jewel and that kind of thing. So do I want to play Surgical? I do think I want to play Surgical. I might play Karn Scion. Gotta be better than a Citadel. Gotta be better than Narset. Narset I might be able to hold up actually and block with. It's probably better than that Karn. Let's try this. Should be a pretty convincing artifact construct game plan, but we might be too slow. This is a nice one. This one has Chromehost. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that one. Chromehost Force. And then hopefully we can deploy the army and everyone will be happy. Well, I'll be happy. I don't know about everybody. But hopefully this is the game where Chromehost is king. I would like that. I would like that a lot. Okay, we've got double Root Walla, no Vine. They could still have Hollow One, obviously. I can't really afford to force Hollow One because I need to be able to force... I guess I don't need to be able to force... Yeah, I think I let this go. And then... There is some risk involved with Mana Crypt. Oh, that's interesting. Do I need... I don't think I need to Needle anymore. My opponent has gotten the activation that they needed. I think the answer is just we want a Shark. Let's see if the Shark is good enough. If I force their next big play, whether it's Vigor or Collector Oof, then we actually have a 5/5, which bricks the whole board, whereas Shark just bricks the 2 Root Wallas. But bricking the 2 Root Wallas is definitely important. And then we do have follow-up Saga Needle too. So I feel like this is a good position. It definitely depends on how things go. Like if they end up with Oof and Vigor, then we could have a problem. We technically have like Mystical Tinker too, but lacking blue sources. Blue cards, I should say. Or no, blue sources, I should say. Mystical for Force, we're lacking cards. So they discarded Wasteland, Bazaar. Makes sense. Plays a Boseiju. Makes sense. Plays an Allosaurus Shepherd? That is some tech that I have never seen before. I can still force things to make constructs, though, so I think it's okay. I mean, I can't do anything about it, so what's the no point in worrying about it, right? Okay, so I'm gonna force that. And that'll give me a 5/5. So they can only have one card left. Lost the flip. Nice. Hit Vault Key as well. So I'm going to just Needle Boseiju. Or Bazaar. Boseiju? No, I'm going to Needle Bazaar. They have one card left in hand. They have to naturally top deck things. Okay, I just stop here. I have the ability to make a 5/5, and then I can Mystical for Time Walk and then win with Vault Key, hopefully. Maybe I have to Mystical for Tinker instead or something. What do they draw? Oh, Collector Oof. Okay. That's fine. So I guess Dismember is a little problematic on this board. gotta be Dismember. Hopefully we don't lose too many crypt flips. That's basically the only way we lose this game. Oh, they were off it. I would not concede this game. I think I could very easily lose crypt flips. So I get to dismember their collector roof and make a construct, and then I also have 1,000,000 incubator tokens. Maybe it's just enough. All right, this is the first match where I found so far that Chromehost Seedshark was amazing. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. It bricked the root wallas and then Force of Will bricked the hollow one. Awesome. This is a beautiful shark game. Okay, we continue with the shark attack. I am I'm happy so far. There's a Lurrus across the table. There's a Lurrus across the table. I keep this hand. It is on the riskier side of life, but I think there's some value here. I could come back and bite me though. We'll see. It's nice that I have a basic island, but I guess there's always the opportunity to be strip mined. Though, oh no, they're on the Sheer Khan deck. Okay. So we played out all of our mana, but we did not put Lurrus into our hand. Probably means they have a Flusterstorm. Ancestral was a great draw, obviously. I think we have the tools we need to win this game. Let's see what happens. My opponent does anything like Tinkering. Commandeer looks quite good. My opponent ever taps this blue here. I think we'll snap off an Ancestral. Maybe they have their own Ancestral. If they have their own Ancestral, I would highly recommend they cast it on my upkeep. However, I guess we could technically Commandeer an Ancestral. Would be an interesting idea. Looks like they might have it. There's not much left to do on my end step. They could have Repeal on their own Mox. Vamp. Yeah, we let Vamp happen for sure. This might be a Commandeer game, which is exciting because Commandeer, it's just a sweet one. Takes a lot of work, but it's sweet. Though I guess if they like Vamp for a Saga, it's quite good here, right? I have a feeling they're going to be tempted to go like Tinker or Lotus or something like that, but we'll see. If they go Ancestral, I think we'll definitely steal too. Balance. Interesting. Okay. Looks like they might have Balance plus Fluster. I think the answer here is to just force the balance. Or sorry, just fluster the balance. And then if they fluster back, I force, then untap an Ancestral. Yeah. Sorry, just fluster the balance. Okay, they have a force of their own. Sure. You can force a Flusterstorm and pay for a Flusterstorm. And then I will force your balance. I just pitch this Narset. I might still be able to Commandeer in this game for a high value. Maybe that's egregious. It's definitely possible that that is wishful thinking. But we'll see. Now we can misdirect an Ancestral. All right, they put Lurrus in their hand. Makes sense. Roll. I think the answer here is simply going to be draw with our Soul Guide Lantern. Try to find a Saga. Needle. I am interested in holding this needle in case they hit Saga first. All right. So we are not in like the best spot, really. Okay, so they did hit Saga first. Here's Lurrus. She's still fine. Shark. Shark is sweet. Shark is very sweet. They have misstep, obviously. This kind of blows for us, but I don't even know if I need to name Urza Saga, but I'm gonna name Urza Saga. All right, well, this Lurrus is now held off. Will they have Ancestral? Mystical. Yeah, you can Mystical. Gimme, 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 gimme. I am excited for this Ancestral. I guess they could Tinker technically as well, but that would be even better for us. So I'm excited. This is a good screenshot. Yeah, yeah. That does look like a concede angle. Man, we didn't get to commandeer that game, but we did have quite a lot of fun. So Karn is our best card in this matchup. There are things like Mystical Dispute and Negation that are reasonable. I do love Double Needle in this matchup. I find that my opponent's deck has a very hard time beating 2 Needles, unless they are playing the Sprouts version. The Sprouts version is better. Not to say that the Sheer Conversion is not strong, but the changes that Sprouts made I thought were quite good. The main one being Haywire Might. I like Haywire Might a lot. Let's assume it's the Sheer Con list. It looks like it won't be able to beat Double Needle. Okay. I don't think I want Dismember. This could be a Scion matchup. It's possible. Absolutely possible this is a Scion matchup. Is this a Lantern matchup? I think this might be a matchup where you want to keep in a Lantern. Doesn't really feel like a great Flusterstorm matchup. Obviously, they're a PO deck and have Flusterstorms of their own. It's tough. I don't even know what to board out. I just feel like I have a very toxic opinion that I think all cards in my are good against my opponent's deck. Like if you play Magic cards, they're pretty good against our opponent's deck. All right. I will say we don't need Scion, and I want to bring in Dispute, Negation. I think Negation in particular is quite good. If you negate a Time Vault, it's quite strong. I just don't know how I'm going to take cards out. They could also play Lavinias, which are quite good against our attempts to counter what they're doing. Maybe this is just like not a mystical matchup, and maybe we can trim like an island. These feel like things we could do. Let's try that. I'm not sure this is good. All right, what do we got? We've got Commandeer, Misdirection, Shark. Sure. Seems fine. Double Mox. Tolarian. Put Lurrus in hand. Nice. Not bad. Shark. Ooh, I got red blasted. Yeah, I don't think I'm allowed to misdirect that to misdirection. I just don't think that's a strong play. I'm just gonna let this happen. Not happy about that. The classic Ruby misdirection in my opponent's like, Justin's mad. It's fine. Is this gonna be PO? Commandeer and misdirection are notably very bad against PO. Man, because if I take control of this, I only draw cards for cards returned to my hand. Ah, this is so bad. This is the worst time for misdirection and commandeer not to be negation number 2. I mean, it does counter it, but at what cost? I actually think I'm going to let this go. I know this is bad for me, and I know, but I think losing my whole hand is worse, where if I hit a blue land, I can play Narset. I could theoretically misdirect or commandeer something on the back half here. Obviously, they could play like Lavinia, and then I just lose, but I think getting rid of my whole hand and drawing 0 cards is just not going to do it for me. So I think the answer is we just cry and blame myself for. I mean, the misdirection was better than negation last game, but this commandeer should probably just be negation number 2, right? All right. Well, do we commandeer that one? I wish I had a Narset in play. All of this would be like Narset's so good against their deck. But I'm on the draw, unfortunately. Yeah. All right. I'll concede. I'll concede. So obviously I could have made plays at any point in this game. I don't think that would have got me there. The answer is probably I'm supposed to go to 0 cards, I guess, and counter and commandeer PO. It just feels so bad. I'm not sure. Little rough. Little rough. It's fine. Turn 1 Karn happening, right? Needle, Saga, Force, Shark. Sure. Definitely name Time Vault, because they can very easily and normally do play both kinds of keys in their deck. Obviously, this turns off our Time Vault. I think that's a price we're willing to pay. Our best draw is probably just blue card. Blue card lets us have force and misdirection. Ooh, they're going ancestral. Don't think we're sharking this game, so make you have force. You do have force. Wow. Oh, notably bad for me. Blue card. Did draw blue card. All right, well, I have 2 Saga tokens coming. I had the misdirection, though. Misdirection was way better than negation there. Misdirection has been nice. I've definitely thought the misdirection had value. Man. Serious mana ramp. This poses huge problems for me. Especially with the amount of Flusterstorms they have to back up their cards. The good news is they don't really have a convincing win the game with no Time Vault, but that is annoying. Okay. We are the one with the Construct token. If we draw a blue card, we can play an Urza as well. Lurrus into hand is perfectly acceptable for me. I'm very happy to see that. Love a blue card. That's a Mox Emerald. In that case, I do believe a top is in order. It might still just be Urza. If I get a Soul Ring, then I play... Oh, I can't get a Soul Ring. I have to get a blue. If I get a Sapphire and then play a Urza, I have to be worried about getting PO comboed, basically. I think this is better still. This presents lethal, right? Yeah, so my opponent has to do something. I have lethal. I just feel like if I go for top there to get a force of will, I don't think it actually buys me enough time. Like if my opponent has, if I have blue card force, right, and my opponent has a fluster anyways, then it just doesn't matter. And so like putting this pressure on and making my opponent do something powerful on this turn, I think is just better. My opponent did find PO. They only have a PO for 2 though. Not convincing. Sure. They do get to pick up their Saga, maybe make Saga tokens. But right now, I have lethal. So they need to PO into, like, Lotus play Lurrus, probably. Or, like, they can't even do Glimmer Void or anything now. So they don't have, like, Opal, Glimmer Void, play Lurrus. Time Walk, obviously, is good. I actually have Hardcast Force on the next turn with just my Needle plus Rocks. Lurza, yeah. I mean, this is, like, I still have lethal. I don't think they have anything. Nice. W. Oh, here we go. Another round of Shark Attack. We got Bazaar of Baghdadi. Across the table. I don't really consider this hand to be super good against Bazaar, but it's enough. This is enough. We will attempt this. Things will be attempted. See if their 6-card hand also includes a Bazaar of Baghdad. Or are they like turn 1 Tinker, who is a... Oh! They're a liar! Hey, oh, wait, I know who this is. That's interesting. That's funny. All right. All right, so I'm expecting breach. Okay. All right, new plan, Slam Tinker. I should be able to commandeer a counter spell the same way I misdirect, where I just I commandeer it to itself, right? Commandeer MDG. I believe that's the case. If you can control the source rate, it still be putting resolves you counter control it, and you control the target spell. Any systems of you. You may change any of the target spell's targets. If you target your spell ability, then copies it. I'm pretty sure this works the same way misdirection does. Yes. Okay. Awesome. All right. I just wanted to make sure. So I actually do have a counterspell backup here. Obviously, I cannot beat a Flusterstorm, but I don't think that matters. I think you're just supposed to jam. Sweet. Citadel with force. Sure. Your move, opponent. All right, what do we have here? Maybe. I did not just knock it. Wasn't me. I haven't done that in a while. Volcanic Island. A braid? Mystical. Oh, can we commandeer an ancestral? That'd be fun. What if we commandeer their Tinker and then... Wait, what? We commandeer a Tinker, we search our library, I assume, yeah? Negation? That's odd. Why would you mystical for negation? I don't understand. I guess they can attempt to counter things on my turn, but I don't know if that's a winning strategy. Oh, they're going to Hercules me and then protect it with negation. Ah, cool. Cool idea. Cool idea. I will just force your Hercules. They will negate it down to 0 cards, and then I'll probably... I'll probably just commandeer. They're at 0 cards. Probably better to have a scroll, I would say. That makes sense, though. Why would they get negation? Okay, so I change the target of negation to Hercules, and then it's my turn. I draw, and I have Narset into Merchant Ancestral, and we win. Yeah. Okay. So I am expecting Breach. I kind of like the idea of Dispute and Negation. And then I don't like the idea of Needle very much. Should never really lose to Saga here. I guess I could technically have Vault Key, but this looks good to me. And maybe we can skimp an island. I'm not really convinced we need all those lands. Let's see. We'll try. I'm not sure. This is probably a keep. I think the Brainstorm should do enough heavy lifting here, and my opponent's deck is slow enough that this is viable. My opponent's deck also occupies a weird space right now, just like Pio, where it does do a powerful thing, and it gives you a lot of agency, but it also feels less powerful than the things other people are doing. It's just something I've been like really mulling over recently. I would love to be able to Flusterstorm that. The fact that I can't Flusterstorm this, and it probably is getting them, could be Breach, could be. Oh, we are just gonna get turn 1 tinkered, aren't we? Oh, Narsetted. Well, it makes my Brainstorm bad. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's definitely good. I definitely don't feel good about the situation. Brainstorm. What do I need? Sure. Yeah. So I think the answer is gonna be don't need to play that yet. I will play out Academy. Well, is there a world? There might be a world where I cast Brainstorm into Narset on their turn as I draw 1 and put 2 back. So maybe there's some upside to playing the Mana Crypt out. Also helps me against like a Flusterstorm backup. Time Walk. I'm pretty sure I'm flustering any spell they play here. It's a little hard to pass up this kind of value. This Brainstorm is really, really strong right here, especially if they have a fetch land. I can only cast this Citadel if I draw exactly Lotus or a Saga Pops, which doesn't really feel like a viable path forward. This will just be the Time Walk. And then if they have like a powerful payoff, they just win. Like they have Demonic Lotus. If they have Breach, they just win. But I'm not reading Breach anyways, really. So like obviously that Flusterstorm is a little aggressive, but I also don't think it's a big deal. I think it's just fine. So maybe this hand was a mulligan, but my opponent did have one of their better draws with Demonic turn 1 Narset. Hard to say. I feel like I have a pretty high opinion of these Brainstorm hands against this kind of medium Tinker deck. Ooh, is this a dig through time? Weird. Does Sean play dig through time in Breach? I don't. Well, does the deck 84? The deck 84 does not. No, they do. They do. Wow. Okay, they got to leave the Lotus behind. It's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, we're super doomed. We basically need to draw Black Lotus just to slam a Citadel. Sean does not play Dig Through Time. I knew one of them didn't play Dig Through Time. Desolutionist and the Deck 84 are people who play like only Breach for the most. I mean, obviously they play Sean can play other decks, but they prefer playing Breach. Deck 84 just played Breach for like 5 years. Those are people I look at who are continually playing the archetype. So what do we got? Scroll. Well, Scroll, unfortunately, against an Narset here, non-ideal, but Scroll. Repeal Narset. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Repeal Narset is an angle. It's not a great angle, but it is an angle. There's also, you know, just repealing Saga tokens if that's the game plan they want to go on. Repeal also gives us some play against Breach, but not much play against Breach, to be fair. I mean, if they have nothing, resetting Narset is not even that great for us. But I mean, we can't play the game currently, so I would like to play the game. All right, I'm gonna do the attempt repeal on the Narset. See what happens. I mean, I can't imagine it resolves, but because if my opponent doesn't have a combo and they don't have, then they can only have lands and spells, right? So it's probably counter spells. They're debating. Like, there's some upside to them letting this resolve. They get to, you know, replay Narset twice. Looks like a hard cast force passing up on a Saga token. Feels like a win for me. So if I can untap and draw Black Lotus, any Black Lotus enjoyers? Time Vault. Yeah. This feels like a draw one, put two back angle. Yeah, okay. I think I'm just gonna get rid of the Time Vault. Well, I have some agency here, but not much. I have play. They're just not making a construct, huh? Why? Oh. You still should make a construct, right? Maybe they have negation backup. Maybe they have hardcast force backup. 1, 2, 3, 5. Yeah, maybe they have hardcast force backup. That's why. It does give us a turn if they have hardcast force as their last card. It looks like they do. Okay. So we have one draw here. Oh, we also have Needle, I guess. So, oh no, I took Needle out, didn't I? Okay, it makes sense why they make a construct. All right, so I am on exactly like Tinker, mostly. Oh, come on. I cracked my Flooded Strand. That's disgusting. That one's brutal. Okay. Yeah, I still feel similarly about the way this should go. All right, let's try this one more time here. Yeah, I think forcing my opponent to beat this is a reasonable play. So let's do it. Commandeer technically better than negation right now at protecting my combo. Oh God, really? I guess that's fine. I guess in the end that's fine. I can just play Time Vault on my next turn. Kind of wanted to play Time Vault when they had less opportunities, but this is okay as well. Saga Gaming. Saga Gaming, but one Saga is on the play is definitely something. I mean, they basically have to have a counter for this. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go all in. Doesn't feel like my game gets better from here if I wait. All right. Your move, opponent. Could definitely have a needle. They do not have a needle. All right. That's a W. All right. Shark gamers. 4-0. 4-0. Can we get the Shark a nice 5-0? It's possible. This hand doesn't do anything concrete immediately, but it has a lot of looks. So I think with... Yeah, all right. I didn't look and see my opponent was playing Lurrus. I mean, I would have kept this hand if I had known my opponent was on Lurrus anyways. So we're playing against the same Sheer Con deck that we were playing against before. They have led with turn 1 Mystic Remora, which is a blast from the past. I will not be playing anything into your Mystic Remora. If you have a bunch of mana, then so be it. I hope I draw some mana. I have like nice things like end of turn repeal as well if I do draw mana, but I think I would rather just get rid of a card than play into the Remora here. Will you pay again? No. All right. So we're free. Opponent has 6 cards in hand. We have 7 cards in hand. They're a little up on mana, but I don't even hate the spot we're in. I guess if they have Lurrus into hand, sure. I think I am going to just cantrip this repeal. I think it's important for us to do... I cannot believe that just happened. All right. I guess I should not have pitched my Manifold Key. Should have pitched anything else. Show me your secrets. Force, Engineer, PO, Jet, Lurrus. That's not very good. Not bad, but definitely lacks some power here. I need to find a fetch land here. Or that. Yeah, that also works. Okay, so our game plan in this game is to get a Karn in play with double force backup. That seems to be doable. No reason not to go Jet Vault. Oh, I guess I should have gone. Yeah, whatever. This is fine. Get our things in play. So I guess the question will now be, are they going to play Lurrus? Oh, I guess they if they draw a blue card, they have double force backup for Lurrus. What I would like to see here is my opponent does not draw a blue card. Perfect. And if they play Lurrus, I force, they force, I force, and I untap. And I guess Karn is not actually doing it right now. So this puts this is fine. There are definitely some issues here for me. Because I have to deal with that Saga draw actually kind of brutal. Wait, why would you pass? Oh, you don't have enough mana. Tapped badly, right? Yeah, tapped badly. All right, so if I had Manifold Key, game is an easy win. Because I don't, I have to go like Karn exile it or something. Oh, I could dig through time to exile it and then Karn it back. But I do need to hit a blue source to do that. This is 100% to be forced. I will force back. And then maybe the answer is actually just get Soul Guide Lantern. That way I can eat my Manifold Key and I have the ability to stop an Engineer. This goes to 3, it goes to 2, and then I can just activate Karn again and get Key. And I'll have force back up. Yeah. That's probably the best line. Weird game, all things considered. I'm just gonna get rid of my Manifold Key. Oh, they also actually are pretty restricted by this Karn, which is nice. Yeah, this looks very winning to me. I'm not 100% sure what they can draw here that will save them. Ancestral. I just force this, and we win. Okay. Good game. Okay. I definitely regret pitching the key a little bit, but also I needed all the blue cards that I cast and used. So it's possible that that was actually the right way to play the game. And we just, I mean, it's kind of weird to draw the time vault, but it definitely happens. All right, 1 game up, and we're playing this matchup again, where I decided I liked Needle, and I liked Dispute and Negation, and I didn't like Island. I didn't like I already cannot remember. Is that round 3? Needle, Negation, Dispute for Fluster, Mystical Island. Okay. Sure. That seems fine. Karn is super good in this matchup, just like it is in Jewel. This hand has Force, Fast Mana, and multiple cantrips. Probably a keeper. The Soul Guide Lantern is an awkward card because it's not amazing in this matchup, but it's definitely good. Like, opponent has a pretty heavy Lurrus plan. It definitely relies pretty hard on the Lurrus graveyard interaction with like Goblin Engineer and that kind of thing. For those wondering, I'm not a huge fan of my opponent's deck. It's the Sheer deck. I don't think it's bad. It's just not the kind of deck that I like to play. It's a deck that gets punished extremely hard by Collector Roof and Force of Vigor, and it feels like the payoff for playing these cards like Saga and Seed of the Synod, it just isn't high enough. That's my opinion, obviously. Deck's done pretty reasonably recently, so. Pyroblast, Spire, Needle, Saga. Interesting. Needle on Saga could definitely be on the annoying side of things here. What I may do is hold this Mana Crypt. And the reason for that is so they don't Needle Saga right away. I don't really want to force the Needle. I guess even if I force the Needle, they have Pyroblast probably. Yeah, I don't think there's any good reason to play the Crypt besides activating Lantern, which I guess that's definitely a reason. It's gonna be a weird game. I don't really want to lose my Lantern because we will have a Saga battle going, unless they go like Needle Saga here, I guess. It's interesting keep by them where they have Saga as Suspend Lotus, maybe, or maybe it's just Suspend Key. Definitely not great for me. All things considered, I don't think this force is going to hold up. We're going to need a little more. But I do have a Needle coming off of my Saga, so... All right, so they're going to hold open Pyro. This feels reasonable to me. And then... I think for us, it's a pretty easy play Mana Vault, play second Saga. And that'll force them to Needle on Saga, even though they have their own Saga. I'm just going to activate this now. So, I should have stronger constructs as well. Let's see, is that true? They don't get a thing here. They get an artifact. I mean, they're not going to have any constructs. Like, they really probably have to Needle Saga. I can't imagine. We're just so far ahead of the game because they played the Spire. I'm not going to activate my Lantern. If they want a Needle Lantern, it's fine. See, they might just go Key anyways. Key gives them like Sensei's Top, but they really need his mana. So like I really think they should probably go Mana Crypt maybe. Maybe go Soul Ring. Maybe they go Lotus and they try to go Lurrus. I guess Lurrus Lotus is not a great play into active Lantern. They do have a Spire and a Pyro, but for us, it's highly likely we get like a Black Lotus and play an Urza. Well, maybe not, because if they have Spire up, it's pretty bad to play an Urza. I guess all of our spells are blue, though, so we need to start playing some spells. Maybe the answer is make a construct. I don't know. I mean, it depends on if they Needle Saga or not, right? Maybe they don't even have a second Needle. I guess they could just play it off of Saga, though, or off their current floating mana. They went for Sapphire. That feels reasonable. Oh, they drew Soul Ring. Okay, so you can go land Pio with Pyro Blackup. It's not bad. That feels like a pretty strong play. I'm gonna draw and see if I can find a second force or misdirection or something. Mindbreak Trap. So they can't. Yeah, that's really good. That's really, really good. That's a hell of a draw. Man, nah, I'm so far ahead now. That's almost a concession, almost concedable moment. It's pretty close. Good Soul Guide activation for sure. Still have a pretty powerful board, but these tokens should close reasonably quickly. Though I guess we depends on where we go from here. Oh, they did hit the Moxen actually, so they can needle my Saga. Okay. That's pretty strong. That's a good follow-up. I mean, we're gonna do much better, but so for us, oh wow, okay, so this is definitely actually we don't need to go Lotus. We can go Sapphire, Fetch, Urza, Time Walk. Yeah, okay, so we're winning here. Sapphire, Fetch, Urza, and then use the construct to Time Walk. And then I'm hoping we have enough artifacts after this to win. 15, and I'm currently at 9. So the answer is not currently yes. Force is still pretty good though. So let's just go Black Lotus, Merchant Scroll, PO. Lotus, Shark. Or do I... Lotus, Shark, 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 Sharks? That makes me wonder. Oh, lethal, 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 lethal. Oh my god. Wow. That is amazing. All right, all right. We absolutely take those. Let's get a nice little screenshot here. Okay, closing thoughts on this trophy deck list. I might be underselling the Fanoop Saga shell. It feels pretty compelling. I think I would just take this commandeer, turn it into a negation, and then use an extra sideboard slot on maybe second fluster for... We didn't really play any matchups where second fluster was good. Maybe like a Steel Sabotage or something. I don't know. It feels weird to leave home without 2 flusters though. So maybe something like that. But the rest of this looks good. I don't know about like 1 PO versus 1 Urza versus 2 repeals. Like there's definitely I almost even think that the 4 repeals was good. If you wanted to play 4 repeals, it's totally fine, but you probably have to lessen up on the counter magic. And right now, I just can't imagine lessening up on counter magic. I'm playing anything less than 6 forces feels really weird. The trap has been great. The destruction was good. The 1 PO is fine. The Karn in our set fine. Needle and Soul Guide are interesting. And so is Opal, and they seem to be reasonable as well. Overall, quite happy with how this went. I'll have to consider it more thoroughly. Like I said, there's another way you can build this. I'm pretty sure No Props played it. Let me go. I'll just show you on Twitter real quick that I felt was a reasonable take on the archetype. Here is a Vintage Challenge 4-2, where it's 4 PO, 4 Hold Reacher, 1 Twister, and then 2 Repeal, 2 Flusterstorm. Basically a very similar style and shell. So lots to think about in terms of this deck. I was pretty happy with my Sagas, but I also didn't get any Sagas Force of Vigor or Wastelanded, right? That that is definitely part of the reason. So, I'm happy. And if you're happy, make sure you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, I'll be sad. New vintage videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'll see you then.